At the Bishop Museum, a new exhibit showcasing Hawaiian history, inclusion, and acceptance.
Kamakapili takes us there and has more.
When you're walking through Waikiki, next to the police station, there's 4 stones within a fenced enclosure. It's known as the Wizard Stones, but that's not the most accurate depiction of what they are and the stories they share. Here at the Bishop Museum, there's a brand new exhibit entitled The Healer Stones of Kapaimahu to help all of us learn more about these stones and that message that it carries. So to find out more, we're here with one of the curators and a historian of Bishop Museum, DeSoto Brown. Thank you very much for your time and thanks for all your hard work in this great exhibit.
Well, thank you for coming.
Tell us a little bit about this exhibit and what can we expect to see?
This is an exhibit in Bishop Museum's Castle Building. It runs from right now through October of this year, and it is telling the story, as you said, of the healer stones of Kapaimahu, which are located in Waikiki. The stones themselves have been through an amazing transition from a rural area into the modern, bustling, crowded city that they are located in now. And one of the things we want to get across mainly is the story of who the healers really were, who is commemorated by these stones. They are the Kapaimahu, the row of Mahu. That's the story we want to tell. How also does that fit into society now? What was the traditional role of people who were Mahu in the past? What's the role of people who are Mahu in the Pacific today? And not only that, but the fact that they were healers, the fact that we've lost a lot of the traditional healing knowledge which was associated with the Mahu, who we are talking about here.
Thank you very much, DeSoto.
You are welcome. Thank you for coming.
I wish we had more time to speak with you. I can speak to this guy all day. But I want to get in because we have another person to speak more about this, and that's Kumuhina, who is a very prominent figure within not just this exhibit, but the film that really has been based off of. So if you don't mind, Kumuhina, can you just share your perspective of what Kapaimahu represents?
Kapaimahu, for me, represents a rendering of our history, rendering of 4 wonderful, marvelous individuals that journeyed from across thousands of miles of ocean from the lands of Kahiki. And they brought with them the knowledge of healing and the skill of making people well.
I gotta say, the time that this exhibit comes out in the world that we live in today, there's no better time than now. What does that mean for you that this exhibit is here for people to learn from?
This exhibit is here during this time where we come away from the world that has been impacted by the coronavirus. And we see that everybody has now been on heightened sensitivity, and what better story could we bring to the world than a story of healing? And it just so happens that these healers that brought their skill and knowledge to Hawaii happened to be of dual spirit. They were of male and female spirit, and that's what made them the powerful healers that they were. They were not just one or the other, but they had elements of both that made them all the more special.
Here at the Bishop Museum, the Healer Stones of Kapaimahu exhibit opens up to the public this Saturday, June 18th. And separately, to find out more about what Mahu means, be sure to catch our previous Aloha Authentic episode where I speak with Kumuhina to learn more about that. You can catch that episode and all the information about this exhibit on our website, khon2.com. Kamakapili with KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.